to this episode of the podcast. Today, we are going to talk about accepting reality. That may sound like a really basic concept, like, okay, Dr. Francavilla, I accept reality. Like, what do you mean? But this is one of the big barriers I see to my patients having success with their lifestyle changes, with nutrition, with exercise, with losing weight, maintaining weight. This is a big challenge, is accepting the reality of what their life looks like. So what do I mean by this? Let's use an example patient to kind of talk through what this looks like. And so maybe you can start recognizing if this is you a little bit. So this is not an actual patient story. This is a conglomeration of patients that I've seen. But the story goes like this. I'm seeing Kelly, and Kelly is in the middle of finishing her PhD work. She's finishing this degree. She's working on her doctoral thesis. She's also working full-time, has her family life and herself to take care of. And she says, I'm going to get back on track with my exercise plan and my meal planning in a couple of months when I'm done with this degree and I can finally focus on myself again. Okay, that makes sense. We've all been there, right? We're in this temporary situation for weeks or months where our life is really crazy and we can't do everything all at once, right? We can only do so much. And so right now, maybe that degree or our job or our kid needs more of our priority, and we can't invest as much time in ourselves with exercise or nutrition or the things we'd want to do. Okay, we've all been there, temporary situation. But I keep seeing Kelly, and now she has a new job because of her new degree, but the job is really demanding and it's her first few months there. So she really wants to make a good impression. She's really excited about this opportunity. So she's working like 55, 60 hours a week. And again, she is finding herself not having the time to do her exercise plan, not having time to do her meal planning. Her daughter has started doing competitive gymnastics, and so that is taking away her time. She's driving her to practices 5 days a week, and she just doesn't have the time to take care of herself, but it's going to settle down soon. It's going to settle down soon, she says. And at this point, when I've been working with someone for 6 or 9 months, and they keep telling me, like, as soon as this settles down, I will move on, or as soon as this happens, or we had really bad luck this month, and as soon as we move past that, I'll be able to focus on myself again. At a certain point, I have to point out, do we notice it's always something? There's always something, right? We're busy with our job, we're busy with our kids, we're busy with the degree. There's always something that is in the way of us living this ideal way we want to do. And so let's accept that reality, right? Instead of continuing to wait for things to get better, instead of continuing to wait for more free time, maybe we need to accept the reality that where our life right now is kind of busy and kind of stressful. And so once we accept that reality, we can sort of make change based on it, right? Instead of living in this ideal world where we're exercising an hour a day and we're doing all our meal prep on Sunday that used to work before life was quite as busy and crazy. We now have to realize that this is our new reality. Life is busy, life is crazy. We can do something radical and change that, right? Like quit our job or move, take our daughter out of gymnastics, right? We can do a big life change. Or we can recognize, like, this is the reality in which we need to work. Okay, here's another example story. Colin, he has been working 60 hours a week at a really, really stressful job. His father's aging and has been in and out of the hospital, and he's spending all of his free time taking care of his dad. Colin hasn't worked out in months, and he keeps eating fast food on the road between his job and between checking on his dad and taking his dad to hospital and doctor appointments. And he's not really sure when things are going to get better, but he knows he's going to get back on that nutrition plan as soon as they do. Again, this is one of the situations where we have to accept that life is busy and crazy. Colin has a job that's 60 hours a week. He has a dad that's not doing very well. And there's kind of no end in sight to either of those things, right? We don't know how long it's going to take for his father to get better or to pass away, right? Like this could be something he's taking care of for 5 or 10 years, right? His job may always be 60 hours a week. If that's been the expectation, that's unlikely to change overnight. And so waiting for our life to calm down is usually not the solution. Now, we can do something radical, right? Again, we can quit the job, we can move, we can put our aging family member into a retirement home or nursing facility, we can pull our kids out of sports. We can do dramatic life shifts, but if we're not willing or able to do that dramatic change, then we have to learn how to work within the framework of our life and accept that we've been telling ourselves it's going to get better and easier for a while, and it may not. Recently, I've been privileged to go ahead and speak at conferences on these topics. So I've been traveling a lot. And then I got back and I got sick, I think from the travel. I picked something up and I couldn't really work out because my body just really wasn't up to it. I was too sick. Then my son, he got in a really bad bike accident and got a traumatic brain injury. So that disrupted things while I was taking care of him. Then I went to a conference to speak again. And I wasn't able to do my regular exercise plan, which is, an hour, 5 to 6 days a week. I couldn't do that. But I could do the best I could do, right? I could accept there was additional crazy on top of my already crazy life, and that I could do something smaller right now. And so instead of doing my sort of CrossFit and running training programs that I normally like to do, I focused on doing a 10 to 15 minute Peloton core workout series that they had, where it was scheduled for 5 days of the week. And it's a 10 or 15 minute workout that I could do anywhere. And that was something I could do in that time when I didn't have the ability to do my higher intensity exercise. But I also knew if I did nothing, it was going to be really, really hard to get back or be able to do the higher level of exercise that I normally like to do. So that's an example of doing the best you can in the moment. Is that the level of exercise that I recommend for my patients or for myself? No, we know higher volumes of exercise are better for our health and better for maintaining weight, and better for mood and stress. But doing 10 or 15 minutes was much better than doing 0. And so when we accept reality, we can make change in our life that's actually powerful instead of just waiting for things to get better. So if you keep finding that every few months you have a different challenge that you are facing, let's work within that framework. And I'm asking you to call yourself out on this, because I'm not there to meet with you and say, Kelly, you've been telling me life's going to calm down and get easier for 9 months now. And that kind of doesn't seem like it's going to happen for you. It seems like your life is always going to have something go on. Let's figure out how to work within that. Okay. And again, that's with doing the best we can. What can we do? What is capable? So let's take that example of you're so busy, you're going call to call, location to location, driving kids from activity to activity, that you are eating fast food every day, maybe twice a day in your car, because that is the only solution that you're able to come up with right now. Well, maybe there are some other solutions to that. So number one, I challenge you to time how much time it is actually taking for you to pull off and exit and go to that restaurant, turn on the street you need to. So maybe one day, set a timer and see how much time does it take for you to actually, go out of your slight routine, whether it's a little bit or a lot, wait in the drive-thru, wait in line, get your food, eat your food. How much time is that really taking, right? So it may be that that's 5, 10, or 15 minutes that you actually have that it didn't feel like you had, where you could make a different choice. Okay. So sometimes fast food is not quite as fast as we envision in our head. It's just convenient and it doesn't involve a lot of planning. We can do it impulsively. So if we take a couple minutes to plan a solution instead, we might be able to find something that is just as quick, if not quicker. I am all about efficiency. I wouldn't be able to do all the things I do in my life if it wasn't about efficiency. Okay. So maybe we're actually not saving time with the fast food. Maybe we could once a week go to Costco or grocery store and get a bunch of pre-made salads with chicken. Maybe we could get tuna packs and veggies or crackers or something to go with them. Maybe we can spend 12 minutes to boil some eggs and make little bento boxes with a boiled egg and nuts and baby carrots or whatever veggies you like, right? Maybe we can get some of those little snack trays that have the dried fruit and the nuts and the meat and cheese in them that are pre-made, right? Maybe we can just take 15 minutes to go to a store and stock up on those, or 15 minutes to go online and order those and have those delivered to our house. And we're probably spending the same, if not less, than we were on fast food. And if we really calculate the time, we probably actually have that 15 minutes to do that, right? We just need to recognize the reality that we're going to have these pre-made foods that are maybe not the most exciting thing in the world, maybe not the most ideal thing we would have, right? Again, maybe we want these Instagram worthy, jarred salads or Instagram worthy stew that we made. That's what we'd want, right? Our reality is we're really busy, stressed, and don't have time to make that. And so the next best thing we can do is maybe utilize some pre-made options. Even easier than that, utilizing protein bars or protein shakes. You can get pre-made shakes. They're already in the bottle. You give them a little shake. You eat them on the go. Easier, quicker than fast food. Going to keep your blood sugar stable. Going to be calorie controlled. So utilizing a protein bar or shake, you can keep those in your car. You can keep them in your backpack or your purse. You can keep them stashed at your office, and they are stable for a really, really long time. Most of them are probably good for years. So you can have those available as a backup, right? Maybe that's not your first choice, but those are something that you can use instead of going to get fast food or having impulse food that is not serving your health goals. Again, you may have had a time in your life where you were eating all Whole30 and it was meal prepped and you felt great and it was amazing. But if the reality of your life is that you cannot invest that time in making that food, let's live in the reality that we're in. And instead of defaulting to fast food, what can we have on hand that will serve our need? Maybe at one point in your life, you were going to the gym an hour a day and you really enjoy it and you felt great and you felt your fittest and healthiest and you were able to maintain your weight and life was good. But right now you look at the schedule every which way and that hour is not reliably there. Well, maybe it's there 1 or 2 days a week, right? Maybe on the weekends you can find that hour to do a home workout or to work out at a gym. Great, do it the days you can. If you can't find it at all, what can you do, right? Can you find that 15-minute workout program on an app? Can you commit to walking during your lunch break, right? That may mean committing to yourself to actually taking a lunch break if you're a workaholic, but taking that 15 minutes to go on a loop around the block or walk up and down the hallway at your office or up or down a stairwell if you're at an office. If you travel a lot, can you take 15 minutes when you first get to your hotel to do a workout on an app or to go to the hotel gym, or can you walk to dinner and instead of taking an Uber, if that's a safe option where you're at, right? Where can you find that small amount? Because I promise you as a doctor that 15 minutes of exercise is better for your health than 0. It's a lot better. And sure, in an ideal world, would you get 45 or 60 minutes? Yeah. But we have to accept the reality that we're currently in. And if the reality is there is not 60 minutes that's reliably available to you, do the 15 minutes. And maybe someday you're able to do 20. And maybe someday you're able to work your way back up to that and you carve out the time and maybe life does settle down and you get back to that. But doing 15 minutes is sure better than doing nothing. So we cannot wait for our life to be perfect. We cannot wait to do the perfect plan we want to do. We need to do anything we can now. Do something. If we wait for the stars to align to make changes for our health, they may never align. We may never start. And I see lots of people who don't really get their act together around their health until their kids have gone off to college or they've retired and now they have time. And at this point, it can be harder to make those changes. It can be harder to reverse those changes when you're 55, 65 years old. And it can be hard to get back into exercise if you haven't moved your body for that long. It doesn't mean it's not impossible. You can always start doing any of these changes. but we want those health benefits when we can get them, right? So let's make the changes we can now. Let's figure out how we can shift towards healthier eating, right? Maybe it's not picture perfect. Maybe it's nothing you're going to brag about and share with everyone you know, but is it better than where you're at? That's what we're always shooting for, okay? So get the pre-made food if you need to, get the protein bars, scout out restaurants. What is the best choice? If fast food is the best option for you right now, there's going to be better and worse options at that restaurant, right? What can you pick? Can you cut out getting the salad? Can you cut out getting the fries? Sorry, did I say cut out getting the salad? I meant cut out getting the soda. Do not cut out salads. I'm always pro salad here. Can you pick the salad at the restaurant? Can you cut out soda? Can you cut out fries? What are the little changes you can make that you can do right now instead of waiting for perfection? Okay. All right. So what reality are you not accepting right now? Take a moment. This is sort of your homework today. What are you waiting for, right? Are you waiting for life to settle down? And if you've been waiting for a week or two and you know that this really challenging time is going to pass, okay, I'll give that to you. But if you've been waiting for months or you've been waiting for years, we need to accept that this is the reality of your life. Maybe you have kids that constantly have unexpected things happening. Maybe you have a job that's really demanding. Maybe you have an elderly parent that has needs. Maybe you have an elderly pet that has needs. I actually hear that quite a bit. Maybe you're just overwhelmed and tired and stressed and busy. Maybe it's all of these things. But waiting for those to end to make a change for your health is not going to get where you want to be. So what are we not accepting? How long have we been saying that things are going to get better? And what realistic change can we make right now, right? What nutrition change can we make that may not be our ideal world, but is something, right? Is that switching out one of our meals for a protein bar? Is that buying the frozen meal that is got some veggies in it and is a good balance of food instead of getting fast food? Is that getting the pre-made salad? Is that getting a tuna pack and some veggies? Is that making a bento box that takes 5 minutes to toss together in the morning, right? What is that small change that may not be your ideal perfect way or what you have done in the past that was most successful, but is better than what you're doing now? What is a realistic movement goal, right? Can you find 5 minutes 3 times a day to go on a walk and do some squats maybe at your desk? Can you commit to a 5-day a week, 15-minute challenge on one of the fitness apps that are out there, like Peloton is my go-to? Can you commit to going on a long walk on the weekends and during the week, just taking the stairs and parking farther and trying to get those steps in? Maybe you actually track it on an Apple Watch or a Fitbit and see if you're improving that. But your homework today is to ask yourself, what do I keep saying is going to get better? And if I've been saying this for a while, do I need to accept a new reality of where I'm at realistically at this point in my life? And what can I change that works in that reality that gets me closer to my goals without trying to shoot for perfection, which none of us can achieve long term? All right, that's all I have for you today. Until next week, take care. Thank you for listening to the Dr. Francavilla Show, where we learn about all things related to weight and health. If you love this podcast, make sure to leave those 5-star reviews and share this podcast with a friend or loved one. If you have a topic about weight and health you want me to tackle, head over to the website, thedrfrancavillashow.com, to submit your question. And make sure to subscribe to the podcast so you don't miss next week's episode. Take care.